Hello, Culture Matters podcast. I am so excited to introduce you to our guest. Before I do, here's a quote that I picked just for this episode. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. Henry Ford, my good friend, your good friend, Andrew Berman, the one, the only mentor, thought provoker, problem solver, friend of multiple industries, is back again. How are you?
Fantastic. Wonderful to be here once again. You know, but I'm looking at, and I realize this is an audio only podcast, and you don't have the pleasure of witnessing the handsome Jay Doran on camera here, but we're looking at the new Jay Doran. He shedded his beautiful locks of hair. I really in this most impressive gesture.
Well, thank you. Um, People that are listening may not know that what we're talking about, but I guess it'd be fitting to tell them.
Please.
Uh, yeah. So our mutual friend Kevin Delory, who's been on the podcast. If you're listening to the Culture Matters podcast, you know Kevin Delory, or you should know Kevin Delory because
Mhm.
he's inspiring. I mean, you've known him for years, Andrew, right?
I've had the pleasure of knowing him, interviewing him, not at the level that you've gotten inside his head and have gotten him to share and open up in just amazing, inspiring ways. But yeah, I've known Kevin. I've known Kevin's power and the awesomeness that is Kevin Delory for many years.
This quote, anyone who keeps learning stays young. I mean, Kevin has the spirit of a 15-year-old that's still reading Playboy in his room and like the wisdom of a 200-year-old.
Yeah.
He is like really, truly like a gift of a person. And man, I was emotional. Yes, I think that he's going to be better than okay, but he shared with us that he has had in a position where he'd have to take chemotherapy. So I said that, well, absolutely, I'm interested in shaving my head because we're gonna grow from this, and I get to benefit. I get to learn about myself when I give up things I want for things I want more, and what I want more than my hair is for Kevin to be in my life and your life and other people's life. Because, dude, he is a leader, and people like him make this. People like Kevin Delory, people like Phil Mancuso, people like Andrew Berman, people like Eddie Perez. I can keep going. I mean, they're you guys and the listeners. If you listen to the show, this is my culture. People that are on the show, like this is, Kevin. There's a reason that you know him all these years, giving him awards and shouting him out and interviewing him and spotlighting him because he helps people every single day. He's
Yeah.
always learning. He's always teaching. And what kind of shitbag wouldn't cut their hair for that?
So what do you think that does to him? Like when he has the and he gets wind actually that you've done this just amazing gesture. Like what do you think actually that he feels? And I know it's weird to say what does someone else feel, but like
I,
what would you say if you were in that position?
I was actually. Um, I just never thought of that until right now, but I was, and this is what happened.
Huh.
On September 22nd of 2017, I was with one of my best friends, Bill Mervin. Shout out. I've introduced you guys. He's been on the podcast many times. On Robert Freehafer's land, he's been on the podcast many times. And I didn't know Robert of Guardian Roofing and Siding. I knew Bill very well. at the time. He was working with Christine Beckwith, who's been on the podcast many times. And we crashed. And I was paralyzed. My right arm was permanently paralyzed. That was the diagnosis. It was a Z. It was they picked the car off or whatever, the ATV. And 2 weeks later, I put a video out where all mangled and whatnot. Like, and I was emotional and just telling the story, and thousands of people watched it and commented and just understand it. And they were like, don't give up on Culture Matters.
Wow.
And I actually tried to give up on Culture Matters before that. I was like done. I was like, I can't fucking do this. I don't know how to get people to trust that I understand this culture thing.
Wow.
And I was getting no views on my videos. And it ultimately is because I wasn't letting go. And because I couldn't. So the car crushing me forced me to step up to the plate. And I made a decision that I didn't need my arm. I wanted it, but I didn't need it. I did not need my arm. I didn't need my arm to read, to think. I didn't need my arm to write, to develop. I didn't need my arm to listen, to hear what's unsaid. I didn't need my arm to speak, to let go. I didn't need my arm to love Jenna. I didn't need my arm to do this fucking podcast, you know? And here we are. And my arm ended up coming back like a year later or whatever. Just woke up one day and I could move my hand again.
So
Probably why I did the hair thing.
now, was it any one pivotal point that where you had this realization, or was it someone that said something, or is it just the cumulative of, you put that video out feeling hopeless, ready to give up,
Yeah.
and then, it just somehow changed? Like, was there
All
a
of the love,
pivot?
all of the support of all these people that I didn't know
Yeah.
made me realize that I have to keep going.
Okay.
So when you ask me a question, what could it do to somebody? I believe that I'm still doing this because of all the people that supported. I am not going to quit on this. I'm not going to quit on other people. I'm not going to quit on myself, but I'm not going to quit on other people. And so, I would do a lot more. I've got to figure out what else I can give up. That's where I'm at. That's where I always think, like, what else can I give up? Hair? What else can I give up? So and why? Why does it matter? What's the meaning? What's the significance? What else is there?
So
It
and
doesn't
now,
destroy, you know.
is your arm, it's like 100% better? Is it is it?
Well, there's pain, but I
Yeah,
mean,
but
no, who would know if I didn't mention it? And I don't.
yeah, uh,
Not that I'm opposed to talking about it. I
yeah,
didn't want to. I wasn't. A lot of thoughts went through my mind.
yeah.
Um, I'm not opposed to talking about it, but we're talking about it, so that's what came up.
Wow. So I understand actually how, like a big gesture like this, as this is the biggest gesture I'm assuming you've ever done, anything like this in support of someone. Because I know actually there's a lot that goes on in your world. I know actually, you share a lot with me, you share a lot with, but I know actually there's a lot actually that you do to give and support people that, you know, in conversation you sometimes stumble upon it, but I know actually, you are a giver, like you care about people, like, you're successful because, you care more about sacrificing to help people, because actually your sacrifice to help people, you will actually only grow. It's like the okay. I was using the analogy about whether your arm actually is 100% better because I'm like metaphorically, that arm is stronger. That arm built up actually even stronger, and maybe that pain there is actually like a reminder of the power that is Jay Doran. The power actually that you feel, the pain is a reminder actually to keep going and go harder and do actually take this whatever you got to that next level, whatever it's with a client or something actually
Yes,
that
it's
you're
a gift.
doing. Yeah,
It's a
that's
gift.
beautiful. Yeah,
I don't want it to stop hurting totally, because that would
yeah,
be that, the worst thing that can happen for me, like, is to forget. The gratitude is this entitlement of just having things that I get used to. Like the night that woke up. So when people go through things, I'm excited for them.
yeah.
I'm excited for who they can be, and I want to support them. And I'm afraid of losing them selfishly, but I'm excited for who they can become and what they can accomplish facing things, because it's the facing of those things that leads to all the great stuff. My whole life has been that, or else I would have bowed out already. I would have given up already. I would have said, what am I doing all this for? Like, it's just, that's just what it is.
The more you face those challenges and face actually those big obstacles, the stronger you grow. And that's something, like anyone who's been around you and has had the chance to be inspired by you, that's something that you could see actually that they're guided by that. They welcome the challenge, they welcome the haters, they welcome actually anything actually that is going to actually help them grow, because that resistance helps them grow. Like it helped your arm get back to almost normal, but that it helped it you grow even deeper.
Andrew, um, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jay. Thank you.